ending up homeless. Nancy Alvarez has the story of two moms who are working to change the system, hoping to help their own sons as well as others like them.
You are so stupid.
This is what it sounds like to have schizophrenia.
Do it. No, don't.
His reality is not like our reality.
Staring off, like not at you, but through you.
These two mothers are working to alter the way we treat people with this mental illness.
When the cops found him, he was cowering in the corner saying somebody was trying to kill him.
Janet Vanderlack's son Matthew spent the next several weeks in jail. That's why she's determined to change how the courts deal with the mentally ill. Meanwhile, Paula Kegelman is working to change the stigma surrounding schizophrenia. Her son David was diagnosed at 17. The hurdles she faced: access to care and affordable housing.
There's waiting lists to get in to see psychiatrists now.
In fact, 77% of U.S. counties have reported a severe shortage of psychiatrists. Paula dedicates her life to helping people find help.
There's two emotions that people feel immediately when this strikes their family: hopeless and that they're all alone. Those two things are completely inaccurate, that there is hope and that we are definitely not alone.
I'm Victoria Idoni. Coming up, I'll be back with national headlines.
More news, more often. Covering the nation and the world. You're waking up with NewsNet Mornings.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm Victoria Idoni with your headlines for your morning. Here's what's happening this Monday, August 16th. The Taliban is declaring victory as the militant group has nearly completely taken over Afghanistan. Last night, the State Department released a statement in conjunction with more than 60 other nations, citing what they call the deteriorating security situation in the country. And the wild weather continues to cause devastation. Over the weekend, a powerful earthquake rocked Haiti, leaving more than 1,000 dead and thousands more injured. Now rescuers are racing to find survivors amid the rubble ahead of a potential deluge from an approaching tropical storm. We've got those stories and more ahead for you. Let's get started. President Biden and other top U.S. officials have decided to evacuate the remaining staff at the U.S. Embassy in Kabul following the Taliban's nearly complete takeover. A Taliban official claimed the group will soon declare the country is now the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, and that speech will be made from the presidential palace in the country's capital city of Kabul, which was captured yesterday. He went on to say the group's victory, which he described as unexpected, mustn't make them arrogant. As night fell, Taliban fighters deployed across Kabul took over abandoned police posts and pledged to maintain law and order during the transition. Residents reported looting in parts of the city, including in the upscale diplomatic district, and messages circulating on social media advised people to stay inside and lock their gates.
We're working to make sure that our personnel are safe and secure. We're relocating the men and women of our embassy to a location at the airport. It's why the president sent in a number of forces to make sure that as we continue to draw down our diplomatic presence, we do it in a safe and orderly fashion.
The search is on in Haiti after a massive earthquake struck the island nation, already troubled by political strife. Additional bodies are being recovered in Les Cayes after the death toll from a magnitude 7.2 earthquake soared to nearly 1,300. The epicenter lies about 78 miles west of the capital city of Port-au-Prince. 2,800 were also injured on the Caribbean island nation, with thousands more displaced from their destroyed or damaged homes. Prime Minister Ariel Henry said he was rushing to aid areas where towns were destroyed and hospitals overwhelmed with incoming patients. Henry declared a one-month state of emergency for the entire country and said he would not ask for international help until the extent of the damages is known. Yet the devastation could soon worsen with the coming of Tropical Storm Grace, which is predicted to hit the island this evening, bringing the potential for torrential rain, flooding, and landslides. The U.S. National Hurricane Center forecast 4 to 8 inches of rain in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, with up to 15 inches in some southern parts of the island they share. Back here in the U.S., parents, if you didn't check your bank account over the weekend, there's a chance it may have a lower balance than you think. Tolly Anderson has the story of the latest glitch with the IRS that could cause checks to bounce just 2 months into the program that's supposed to be lessening the stress for many Americans.
Did your bank account become richer on Friday morning? Well, millions of households woke up Friday to see the money in their bank accounts, just like they did on July 15th. Child tax credits were heading to families, but you may not be the only one that did not receive those expected funds. The U.S. Treasury issued a statement Friday before noon that stated, due to a technical issue expected to be resolved by the September payments, less than 15% who received payments by direct deposit in July will be mailed paper checks for the August payments. Families went to social media to let followers know they did not receive their money and wondering what happened. The IRS.gov website showed that some taxpayers would receive their advanced child tax credit through the mail this time, even though they received it via direct deposit just last month. The IRS noted Friday afternoon, be sure to allow extra time for delivery by mail through the end of August. Though tax experts say this unexpected shift from direct deposit to paper checks for some is expected to be a one-time issue. Roughly 4 million people who fell into this category of expecting a direct deposit in August is getting a check. And the IRS stressed that those affected do not need to take any action for the September payment to be issued by direct deposit. The Treasury recommends if you are one of those families who did not receive a direct deposit to visit the Child Tax Credit Update portal on irs.gov. I'm Tolly Anderson reporting.
Now to an update. Following Andrew Cuomo's resignation on the 24th of this month, the New York State Assembly plans to suspend their investigation on the allegations of harassing women that led to the governor stepping down. Political experts weigh in on what's next for the Empire State and its new governor.
From upstate New York,
I think it's time. The amount of money that's causing the state to run these investigations, it's just too much. I think it was the right decision.
To New York City.
New York needs change, positive change, and everything rises and falls on leadership.
Voters agreed with the president and almost every elected official, Democrat and Republican. It was time for Governor Cuomo to go. The New York Attorney General found at least 11 women who complained about Cuomo's conduct. While he was contrite, clearly it was too little, too late.
The rush to condemn Cuomo and the fact that he found no one in the party, literally, who would stand up for him is partly a measure of how far we've come on gender politics.
Susan Estridge, campaign veteran and lawyer for disgraced Fox chairman Roger Ailes, thinks the politics of replacing Cuomo will be a free-for-all.
You're going to have fights between the progressives and the moderates. And I suppose the good news for people like Chuck Schumer is there's one more office to now run for.
It is possible that a Republican could run and win the New York State gubernatorial election. However, for that to happen, all the stars would need to align. It is highly, highly unlikely.
GOP strategist Matt Klink may not agree with his counterparts on much of anything, except that Citizen Cuomo, even with a $20 million campaign war chest left, should be looking for other employment.
Because of the sexual harassment allegations, not to mention potential prosecution in the state for gross negligence in terms of senior citizens' death in nursing homes, make his political future questionable at best.
It's time now for the entertainment report. If you decided to catch a movie over the weekend, you're helping to determine the box office results, which can impact how long films stay in theaters if they ever made it there. Eden's here with those results.
Hi, I'm Eden Lane, here with your entertainment report. We'll start the week off with a box office report.
Disney's Jungle Cruise had another strong weekend. The Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt adventure film took third place with an estimated $9 million. The Aretha Franklin biopic Respect, starring Jennifer Hudson as the Queen of Soul, opened in a notably close fourth place with an estimated $8.8 million. Horror movies have been strong this summer, and the sixth horror sequel since May, Don't Breathe 2, debuted in second place with an estimated $10.6 million. Taking the number one spot this weekend, Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds as Guy. He discovers he is an NPC, non-player character or background character in a video game. He fights to save his world and his friends from getting deleted by the game's creator. The new adventure comedy beat expectations a bit and earned $28.4 million. It is only in theaters for a 45-day exclusive run, going against the trend of day and date streaming releases.
Well, that's my report for today. I'm Eden Lane.
Stay with us. Weather, sports, and more are headed your way. With your latest headlines, I'm Victoria Idoni. Have a marvelous Monday.
Of top-selling Super Beets comes new Super Beets Heart Chews, a superfood breakthrough that's bursting with flavor and unique polyphenols that help support healthy blood pressure and circulation so your body can produce more heart-healthy energy.
The chews are so great. Super Beets gets me going. It gets my circulation flowing, and I have that energy all through the day. It's just fantastic. I love it.
When I researched Super Beets, I was impressed by all the science behind the Super Beets chews. It's amazing that something so simple can be this great for my heart.
What makes Super Beets polyphenol so different from other antioxidants? In a leading clinical study, Super Beets polyphenol compound was shown nearly 2 times as effective at promoting normal blood pressure as a healthy lifestyle alone.
In my 31 years of helping people maintain healthy blood pressure, I've never seen a polyphenol compound this effective. Super Beets antioxidants help support healthy blood pressure and help your body produce more energy.
I never knew how my blood pressure and my blood flow were so connected to my energy level, and now I know. I'm playing tennis longer. I don't get tired after one set. I can totally feel the difference.
Call now and find out how you can get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets Heart Chews plus a free bonus pack of delicious vitamin D3 chews for immune health support. Act now and we'll even include free shipping and free returns, all backed by our 90-day money-back guarantee. That's over $30 in total free gifts. So try Super Beets Chews today.
I love the chews because they're delicious and they're so convenient.
I absolutely love what they do for my energy. My blood pressure is healthy and my energy level has been phenomenal.
So do something good for your blood pressure and your energy. Love your results or your money back.
Call 1-800-397-1867 or visit superbeetschews.com. That's 1-800-397-1867. Call today.
A lot can happen with a simple share your ideas, tell your story, connect to all of your social media in one place, get people excited, change here, update there, to get connected, to share, and sell anywhere, and start making a different future. Start different at GoDaddy.com.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on Newsnet. I'm Chief Meteorologist Morris Langworthy. Tropical Storm Fred making landfall later today continues to move farther to the north. This morning we were tracking about 160 miles from Panama City and is moving farther to the north fairly slowly. We are seeing the tropical storm warnings out from Navary to the Wakulla-Jefferson County line today. As we continue to track Fred, we are starting to get more concerned about the storm storm surge. Some areas like Indian Pass, that's where we're expecting the highest storm surge, about 3 to 5 feet of it. And even farther south, once we get clear of the Panhandle and the Big Bend today, we are looking at 4 to 7 inches in Georgia, Alabama, and potentially even in the Carolinas when it comes to rainfall. So we are looking at the possibility of flooding farther inland. As we continue to watch the system move on to inland, that's the biggest concern, is going to be the water. With any tropical system, we are looking at heavy rainfall, 4 to 7 inches of rain. This system is going to kind of hold together as it moves into the areas of the Tennessee Valley, bringing those heavy rainfall. That's through Tuesday afternoon and moving into the Ohio Valley by early Wednesday. So we could see some significant rainfall associated with Tropical Storm Fred. Let's go ahead and talk about Grace. Tropical Depression Grace continues to push forward at about 15 miles an hour, a little faster than Fred is. And this one's going to be actually tracking a little bit farther to the south. We've been watching Fred move on the northern side of Cuba. This system's moving to the southern side of Cuba. And right now it's fairly westerly, moving right towards the Yucatan Peninsula, so it could be affecting areas like Cancun and Cozumel, eventually hitting mainland Mexico, even into southern Texas is a possibility. For the remainder of today, tropical storm watches are out for the Dominican Republic and into Haiti, where they are in recovery efforts right now from that significant earthquake. Another system is Tropical Depression 8, continuing to circle in on itself, is not at this point expected to affect the continental United States. Heavy easterly rains are ahead of Fred, and this is one of the concerns. We're going to make saturated ground today before Fred starts moving through the Tennessee Valley. So showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible up and down the East Coast today, bringing in that chance for rain. We're going to see a few inches of rain on the heavier side hitting the ground before Fred's significant 4 to 7 inches. Fire danger is a huge thing again today in many areas. Of course, we know about these wildfires, but on top of this, it's the air quality we're concerned about. We are seeing poor air quality all across the northwestern corner of the U.S., all the way back into the Dakotas. In Nebraska, we're seeing air alerts, air quality alerts. Anyone with sensitive respiratory systems is feeling this, so remember to take care of yourself and others with that smoky haze in the sky.
More news, more often. This is NewsNet.
This is an important
KAGW meteorologist Mark Bugner here with a check of your Wichita Almanac for the 16th day of August, and our normal high temperature is 91. Our normal low is down into the 60s now. 69 our normal low. The record high of 106 was set in 1983, and the record low of 56 was set in 1992. And as we look ahead to the next 7 days, we are looking at chances of showers and thunderstorms. We've got chances every day in the next 7 days. Now, that's not to say it is going to rain every day in the next 7 days, but there is at least a chance. Looks like our best chances, if you had to lay down some money, would be Thursday night, and Friday. That looks like our best shot at some moisture. But like I said, every day with all this humidity and heat around, we are going to have the possibility of some thunderstorms. Highs will be in the upper 80s to low 90s for the most part, maybe cooling down to the mid 80s by Sunday, and lows will be in the mid 60s to low 70s with the warmest morning coming on Friday morning.
Hi, I'm Keith Dome, owner of Central Auto Repair and Electric. We specialize in any type of repair for your car, truck, or SUV. We offer tires, tune-up, oil changes, full diagnosis, air conditioning, front-end alignment, fuel pumps, belts and hoses, and much, much more. No matter what your car is needing, our experienced staff will be able to troubleshoot the problem and get you back on the road. Call or come by today, 316-943-5283, or stop by 975 Northwest Street, or look us up at caewichita.com.
Take the drive to Countryside for a great deal on your next ride. How about taking home a 2020 Nissan Rogue all-wheel drive? Heated cloth seats, eco mode, power liftgate, push to start, keyless entry, lots of additional safety features priced below market value. Looking good in the driveway. Come see our selection. Check out these great deals and more at drivecountryside.com. Take the easy drive down 135 to Countryside, Wellington, Kansas.
Hi, I'm Cheese Johnson, former Wichita State Shocker. Have you ever been caught doing something wrong? I recommend calling my friend, DeVoe Treadwell.
I handle DUI, traffic, and criminal cases. Call me, DeVoe Treadwell. Let me solve your legal problems easily.
Atlanta Panthers. One last game to check in on in the first week of preseason play. We have a bit of a QB competition as Jacob Eason of the Colts and Sam Ehlinger battle it out for the right to back up Carson Wentz. We pick up the action in the second quarter, Indy with possession. On 2nd and 10, it's Eason, who's dropping back to pass and looking for Paris Campbell down the left sideline. A good connection right there, showing accuracy and touch on the deep ball. That play helps get Indy on the board with a field goal. But the second-year kid out of Washington wasn't done showing off the arm. In the 2-minute drill right before halftime, he throws the jump ball up to Mike Strong, looking to make the team, and that'll certainly open up some eyes in the coach's room. Another big play would put the Colts in position to score a touchdown. And in the fourth quarter, it's Sam Ehlinger who will start to lead the comeback for the Colts. On first down, here's a nice completion out to the left, 11 yards on the pitch and catch, and it'll keep the chains moving. But what could separate the two QBs in this battle might be Ehlinger's athleticism. Still on the same drive a few minutes later, and he gets the chance to show off the wheels. On 3rd and 5, he's going to pick up a big first down right here. Nothing on the initial read, so he tucks it down and heads for the corner, which keeps the drive alive. And just a few ticks later, it's another scramble for the kid out of the University of Texas. Another good pickup. Not a first down, but it would help keep possession, eventually winding the clock down to a few seconds to kick the game-winning field goal and send the fans home happy as the Colts begin their preseason with a win over the Carolina Panthers. We shift from the gridiron to the hardwood now as we check in on NBA Summer League action from last night and a couple of top prospects from the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks and the Washington Wizards. To the Las Vegas Strip we go for some Summer League action last night in the association. Second-year player Jordan Nwora for the Bucks is playing really well for the defending champs and hopes to make an impact this year, as well as former Gonzaga great Corey Kispert for the Wizards. And that's who we get our first look at in the early going. Right on cue, Kispert fires and hits in rhythm. But here's Jordan Nwora a bit later with a nice drive to the rim, averaging about 21 points in the Las Vegas Summer League, mainly because of his aggression in his second year. And on their very next time down the floor, it's a bit of a heat check from the kid out of Louisville. Going to step back and drill that long ball over Kispert. But right before the end of the half, we're going to have a top play nominee here at the sports desk. Off the steal and in transition, it's Paulie Boa who jams home the lob. But the Wizards would close out the half in style. And it's Kispert who's showing his versatility on the floor. Determined drive to the cup with the finish high off the glass. Then check out the quick trigger right here. He launches, and it's bottoms on the 3 ball. 10 points at the half for Kispert, and a 6-point lead at the break for Washington. And in the second half, it's more of the Kispert show. And boy, if he can knock down shots like that, he can certainly help speed up the rebuild in Washington, who's retooled their lineup through free agency with a mix of veterans and along with some promising youngsters in Rui Hachimura and that young man. The future looks bright in the DMV. 18 points on the evening for Corey Kispert as the Wizards get a 10-point win over the Bucks. Let's finish up with a quick tour of some late results in Major League Baseball from last night. We begin out west with the Blue Jays and Teoscar Hernandez, who, along with Randall Grichuk, hit homers in the second inning as Toronto avoided the sweep to Seattle. Fernando Tatis returned to the lineup in style, slugging 2 homers, driving in 4 runs, and leading the Padres to an 8-2 win over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jake Cronenworth also went deep, helping San Diego stop a 4-game losing streak. Reed Detmers pitched 6 innings of 3-hit ball to earn his first Major League victory, and the Angels avoided a 3-game sweep with a 3-1 victory over Houston. David Fletcher and Joe Adele drove in runs with grounders to back Detmers, who struck out 6 and gave up 1 run while outdueling Lance McCullers Jr. And we end our tour with the Giants getting back on track. After a loss the previous game to Colorado, they rebound by winning the series finale over the Rockies. Alex Wood pitched into the 7th inning to win his 5th straight decision as the Giants take 3 of 4 from their division rivals. Lamonte Wade Jr. made a terrific defensive play to throw out a runner at the plate to preserve the win. Hey, stay tuned. We've got much more news for you right after this.
At Guild.com, get insider access to coveted designers like Valentino, Chloe, and Dior at up to 70% off retail prices. Shop daily sales before they disappear in a flash. Visit Guild.com today.
Turn down for Social Security disability. Help is here.
Let us get you the Social Security disability check you deserve.
Call the law firm of Betts & Burrill, 877-775-5199.
We know how to fight for your rights. Social Security disability is complex. Put our experience to work for you, and there's no fee until we put money in your pocket.
Call now, 877-775-5199.
I'm Derek Tate, sports anchor for Newsnet. From every touchdown on the gridiron to a face-off at center ice, the sports world never sleeps. That's why the Newsnet sports team has you covered around the clock. Newsnet is the only network broadcasting news and sports 24/7 free via antenna. From every home run to the last-second buzzer beater, tune in over the air or learn about us over at yournewsnet.com.
Mom, thank God you're going to be okay.
So relieved. But you both should know when my time comes, I have a final expense policy with Senior Care USA.
If you're over 50, call Senior Care USA now to learn more about final expense insurance plans.
When I called, the quote was free, and there was no pressure. Oh, so glad you'll be taken care of.
Call 1-800-470-9684. That's 1-800-470-9684.
Whether we're traveling, enjoying ourselves, or simply doing some work around the house, the news never stops, and neither do we. So join me, Alfredo Cuadros, every weekend right here on Newsnet. More news, more often.
More news, more often. This is Newsnet.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Victoria Idoni. Let's take a look at the latest news in health. Some kids have already headed back to school, but for most of the country, the first day of classes is just around the corner. While it can be exciting, many kids are nervous about heading back to class, especially some of those who spent the last year learning remotely.
Schools have really learned a lot about how to calm kids' anxieties and their worries and how to help keep them safe. But again, be prepared. These kids have not been around other kids. You know, it's almost like when a new child goes to daycare for the first time.
Dr. Jensen says feeling nervous is perfectly normal. Her advice, be sure to offer children reassurance and remind them that other kids are going through the same changes. You could also help them get used to socializing again by doing some back-to-school shopping or taking them to a restaurant. That way, they know it's okay to be around other people.
Don't feel like as parents you have to give them the $10,000 explanation that goes into the vaccines and the immune system and whatever. As kids get older, they'll ask questions if they have questions. Little kids, they need the little bits that say, we want you to do this. It's important to us. And most kids do want to please mom and dad at that age.
Dr. Jensen says it's also important for parents not to minimize their child's concerns. For example, if a child keeps giving reasons as to why they can't go to school, then it may be worth talking to a medical professional. On a related note, health anxiety, a condition that used to be known as hypochondria, is a fear about having a serious medical condition that has become irrational. Some experts believe it could affect more than 12% of the population, and men and women of all ages have seen their worries intensify during or because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The grim statistics can send your worries into overdrive. With health anxiety, healthy patients fret, panic, and obsess over medical concerns.
Despite your efforts at self-talk and whatever else you do, you can't get rid of it.
If your symptoms interfere with your ability to think, perform everyday activities, or sleep, it's a good idea to seek medical help.
Far and away, the best treatment for anxiety disorders are therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy or desensitization therapy.
Some other tips: try meditation, yoga, exercise, or other healthy distractions to redirect your energy. Also, avoid caffeine, alcohol, and nicotine, which can trigger episodes. And go easy on yourself. Battling anxiety is challenging, especially during a pandemic. I'm Marty Salt reporting.
And did you know 1 in 17 people in the U.S. is living with a mental illness? Health professionals believe that more than 8 million people have schizophrenia, but it often goes undiagnosed. A lack of funding, resources, and an overall misunderstanding of the illness has led to those who really need help instead being locked up or ending up homeless. Nancy Alvarez has the story of two moms who are working to change this system, hoping to help their own sons as well as others like them.
So stupid.
This is what it sounds like to have schizophrenia.
Do it. No, don't.
His reality is not like our reality.
Staring off, like not at you, but through you.
These two mothers are working to alter the way we treat people with this mental illness.
When the cops found him, he was cowering in the corner saying somebody was trying to kill him.
Janet Vanderlack's son Matthew spent the next several weeks in jail. That's why she's determined to change how the courts deal with the mentally ill. Meanwhile, Paula Kegelman is working to change the stigma surrounding schizophrenia. Her son David was diagnosed at 17. The hurdles she faced: access to care and affordable housing.
There's waiting lists to get in to see psychiatrists now.
In fact, 77% of U.S. counties have reported a severe shortage of psychiatrists. Paula dedicates her life to helping people find help.
There's two emotions that people feel immediately when this strikes their family: hopeless and that they're all alone. Those two things are completely inaccurate, that there is hope and that we are definitely not alone.
I'm Victoria Idoni. Coming up, I'll be back with national headlines.
More news, more often. Covering the nation and the world. You're waking up with Newsnet Mornings.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm Victoria Idoni with your headlines for your morning. Here's what's happening this Monday, August 16th. If you've heard the term, the check is in the mail, that usually means it was already supposed to arrive. That unreliable phrase is now being heard from Uncle Sam. Just 2 months into the program that's supposed to be lessening the stress for many Americans, money people depended on could cause checks to bounce. And the Taliban is declaring victory as the militant group